and welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I am going to do calamine powder soap again. If you watched the previous calamine soap video, you saw that I used a fragrance that was so accelerating. Smells great. I love the finished bar. I was so excited about it. And they sold very quickly. So I'm going to revisit calamine powder, which I bought in bulk. It's very expensive. So I will try to find a good link for some fair-priced calamine powder. I found some on Amazon. I found it on eBay for a good price. Calamine powder is actually a combination of zinc oxide and iron oxide, and that's where the beautiful blush color comes from, is the iron oxide, but it has some amazing skin benefits and properties, and I would suggest you research it if you're interested, if you don't already know the benefits of calamine. So this is going to be an aloe vera soap because I'm going for really skin soothing type ingredients in this bar of soap. And let me say that this bar of soap will get you clean. It's going to lather in the shower and clean your skin. That's what the soap does. I am putting some skin friendly ingredients in the soap, and I'll let you do the research on all that. For the fragrance today, this fragrance is Avo Bath, and it is a Lush type or a Lush dupe fragrance. It smells so good, and it got good reviews, and the demo of it didn't accelerate or cause discoloration. So hopefully this fragrance, not behaving badly, will work wonderful in this soap today, and we won't get the amazing soap seas that I got in the last time I made this. But anyway, this Avo Bath, I think it has, it's citrusy, it has citrus, it has lemongrass, and a little bit of undernotes of pine, a little woods in there. It's just wonderful. So that'll be the fragrance today. I'm not doing any swirls. I am going to skip the kaolin clay in the soap and do a full heavy load of calamine powder that will replace the clay and be a little extra something something in there. So that is how I'm going to approach this. It's going to be one color, that beautiful blush color, and hopefully it won't seize on me this time. I am going to watch it though. The last time I made soap with calamine powder, it got very hot in the mold. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, make sure we don't overheat. I'm hoping to do a scoopy top, maybe do some pink rock salt on top because I think it looks beautiful with this pink blush color. So anyway, let's revisit calamine powder and get everything pulled together, get my hair pulled back, safety gear on, and let's try again, take 2 of calamine soap. All right, it's time to put the additives in my melted oils and butters here. So let's start with the colloidal oats because I'm thinking about skin. I'm not doing goat milk today, it's all aloe vera in the lye solution. So let's do 2 tablespoons, nice rounded. There we go, a little extra. 2 tablespoons of colloidal oats. Let me pull this spatula out. What am I thinking of? I got so excited using my calamine color spatula again. It kind of matches the powder really well. So there's the colloidal oats. Moving on, here's the calamine. And look at this, I ordered from 2 different distributors. Calamine powder, they're both zinc oxide and iron oxide, but it might be a little different ratio. So anyway, it's all calamine powder. That's going in. We're going to do 2. This is a 2 tablespoon scoop, so I'm going to do 2 of these. So it'll be 4 tablespoons total. So we'll do 1 and 2. And this is in replace of the kaolin clay also, plus a little extra. So I'm very anxious to see how this behaves without a speeding fragrance. So the last time I mixed the calamine in with the oxides, the zinc and the iron oxide, it can help speed up trace a little bit, kind of like titanium dioxide does. So today's going to be a really good test run on this. So let's get this all blended in. I'll let it sit and absorb for a little bit while I get my aloe vera lye solution finished prepping, and then we'll come back and get to making soap. I think we're ready to roll. Let's take the temperature here. I'm working at room temperature, so the oils are 70, and let's see, the aloe vera lye solution here is 70.1. So we're right at 70 degrees on both of these. I've got my fragrance here off to the side that I'll add in after I get them blended, and I have my gorgeous pink salt that I might sprinkle down on top just because it's so beautiful. So I'm really anxious to get going on this and see how it is. I've quit talking. Here is my aloe vera lye solution. This has aloe vera juice. It has 2 tablespoons of cane sugar melted in the aloe juice, and then I snipped up tussa silk fibers in here and put the sodium hydroxide on to melt the silk, and then there's a little sodium lactate in here. So all of that's going on in the pot. And let's get her in here and see how this goes. This is going to be interesting. Last time I made calamine soap, it was quite an adventure. If you haven't checked out that video, I will leave a link in the box below. It was wild. It went so fast. Kind of crazy. And I said the word crazy like a million times. I was so freaked out trying to keep my cool. Sometimes it's a challenge. And I'm not doing any swirls today. This is just all about the ingredients. Look at that. It's already speeding up a little. So I'm going to go ahead and get this fragrance in here. Maybe the fragrance will slow it down a little. So I believe that the calamine powder, which is, again, it's the zinc oxide and iron oxide blend, is what makes calamine powder, and I think that is a contributing factor. Oh, this Avo bath smells divine. Very fresh. Oh my word, it's wonderful. I've never used this before. If this behaves well, I'm definitely buying it again because it smells great. I hope it retains the scent. You know, that's another thing with fragrances. See, it slowed it down. Look at that. Very nice. With fragrances is they can smell great out of the bottle and then change in your soap, or they can smell great in your soap and then 2 weeks later they're just gone. So you can't really tell on a fragrance until after the cure, maybe 4 or 6 weeks later, and if they still have a nice fragrance, it's a keeper. And that's called scent retention, is after it goes through saponification, if that fragrance can hold on through that and through the curing time, that is called a good scent retention. So look at this. I'm so excited, y'all. We are not having soap on a stick at all. The Avo bath, that fragrance slowed down the trace. I could even do a swirl. I'm not going to, because this is just all about the skin ingredients. So very simple. There's something beautiful about a simple soap. And this calamine powder today is a little bit darker. It's less pink. It's more, I don't know, rosy blush than a pinky blush. So I'm just going to blend this to a nice trace, and then we'll get it in the mold, and I'll do a scoopy top and put some of that rock salt down. It's going to be good. So I'm going to show you here on a plain colored soap. It's easier to pick up. I'm not seeing a trail on the top. That's trace. When you lift up your spatula and you go like this, and you can literally see a trace, it's just a great name for it. And I'm not seeing it. Maybe just barely a shadow. But when you're at a medium to thick trace, you literally will see the drizzle sit on top of the soap. And since I'm not doing a swirl, I'm going to go for a little bit thicker trace. Sometimes the stirring will slow it down, so if you just pause a minute and then wait, and you can do it again. But I'm going to blend this a little bit more until I see those trails, and I'll come back and show you the trails. All right, it's been a few minutes, and here you can, I hope you can pick it up, but you can see a little trail on the top. We're at a nice thin trace, so I'm going to go ahead and get this in the mold now and let it sit a little bit more to thicken up, but this fragrance is behaving like a dream. So far, it's getting 2 thumbs up from me. Let's get it in the mold. It's the next morning, And I am so excited about this soap. It took forever to trace, not forever, but it took a long time to trace. The fragrance behaved beautifully. It's just a little dull. There is no soda ash, but I want to shine up the top because, again, there's no swirl in here. So I want the top to really shine. This is an interesting color. I can't wait to get in and cut these, but first we have to steam them and let them dry. So here is my clothes steamer. I'm just waiting for it to heat up. Any inexpensive clothes steamer will do. I got this one on Amazon, and I'll try to find something similar in the link down below. But anyway, you just run the steamer across the top, and of course now it's going to be wet, but then it will dry to the touch, and it will remain glossy. And it just adds something just a little special to the soap, I think. When you have a very simple top like this and a simple soap, every little bit, I think, adds something, just a little something. Shiny sheen. So, there it is, wet and glossy. We'll let it sit for a few hours and come back and cut it. All right, it's been a couple hours. It's dry to the touch, but it just looks a little brighter, doesn't it? And yeah, again, there's just not a lot going on, so that brightness, I think, adds a lot to the look. So, whoops, let's get it out of here. And there's not a lot going on, but we're still going to cut it open and see how the color came out. Again, that was a different calamine powder distributor, and so it was a very different color of calamine. So that's interesting to me, that it was so different, but it was from a reputable distributor. And so anyway, I found the calamine that I'm using on eBay for a better price than what Amazon had, and I will try to find a link. It's not easy to find, and it's kind of expensive, but I will try to find a good link and leave it down below. Wiggle that off. There's something satisfying about a big slab of soap, isn't there? Oh, I'm loving it. Let's cut this open. It's time to cut into these bars, and I'm missing a string here that I haven't replaced yet. I already broke a string on here, but hey, that's part and parcel of soap life. So here it is, gorgeous. Love the top that shined up like that, and I'm going to cut it with the salt side down because, just because it will reduce drag marks, that's why. If you have chunks and things on top of your soap and the wire cuts through them, it can drag that little, like if you have herbs and things, it can drag it through the soap and cause drag marks. So this reduces that. Let's get in here and see about the color on the inside of these. This is very interesting. It's very beige colored. It's not so pink, but I think it's lovely. It's very soothing. It kind of goes with the fragrance. It kind of goes with the whole theme of being, you know, skin soothing, but not a lot going on. Just a beautiful, simple, beigey color soap. I think the tops are pretty. I'm glad I put the salt up there just for a little something extra. But so anyway, for me, the moral of the story is that fragrance, the last time I made this, I used Butterfly Meadows from Nature's Garden, and in defense of them, they did say it was an accelerating fragrance. They did warn you ahead of time, and indeed it was. It just, the soap batter went so quick. So to this one, of course, was that Avo Bath from Be Scented, which actually decelerated. It slowed it down. I had to blend this for quite a while, but it smells fantastic. So far, the scent retention the next day is great. So we'll see after the cure, but it did get good reviews. So I'm very hopeful that this is going to stay really nice and just that fresh sort of soothing scent that it has. So anyway, the calamine powder itself didn't accelerate this so bad, and the fragrance decelerated. So this batter today, or this batch today, was really a dream to work with. So again, let's go salt side down. Actually, let me clean out. I have little salt chunks in the little troughs here where the wires go. Let me knock all that out so that the wires can go down. All right, now we'll go salt side down. And because these are very plain and they don't have any swirls, I'm cutting all full-size bars so there won't be any sample pieces on here. Because, you know, that's just pretty much straight up, but I'm loving it.